Three, two, one. Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pixel Venture Podcast. I'm Corey.
And I gonna be going away for Thanksgiving.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Grab your drumsticks and wishbones and what else is for the mashed potatoes?
Gravy.
Just a fuck ton of gravy boats. It's the fucking Thanksgiving special. Corey, put in like a rogue turkey, just right there.
Put in like a bunch of beans too.
Jake, I can't do a crazy amount of edits this episode. I'm so fucking busy this week.
And we're spending the entire budget on beans.
God damn it. Are we going to talk about that? Like the first thing?
What? No, Corey, we're going to find a segue into your beans.
I didn't think that we were going to talk about it. Okay, so the other night, because I was desperate for food and I completely forgot to eat dinner like a normal human being, I went to Taco Bell at 12 a.m. and I like the one that I usually go to. They're usually pretty good about having like, stock of, everything. And so I allow myself, like, because I talked about before in the podcast to try and do like, eat less meat and things like that. I allow myself once every other week to get something that's like, meat. And so this time around I was like, you know what? I'm going to get like the chicken power bowl thing because there's rice and beans and other stuff like, so it's not just like, like a chicken burrito or something like that. And so I go to get that and the person that's working the drive-thru is like, "Oh, we don't have any chicken." It's like, "Okay, do you have beef?" Like, I don't really like the beef there, but I asked anyways. They're like, "Nope." And I was like, "So wait, what do you actually have?" "We got beans." And so I was like, "Okay, I'll just take beans." And they're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yep." They gave me an excessive amount of beans. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of this, but it was like I ordered like a bean burrito, and usually those have like a little bit of cheese in them. It was just beans. And then I ordered like a tostada, and it's just like they had nothing else on it except for beans and a little bit of lettuce. It was awful. But like, I guess that is kind of like comeuppance for the dumbass "do you like beans" joke that I have with some people. That's a really shitty story to start off the podcast on. We're supposed to hook the audience, and we just scared away at least 3 viewers.
Alright, fine, let's think of a better story.
Thanksgiving. What's your plans for Thanksgiving?
I'm going down to New
Jersey. Reminding
'Cause
yourself
I've
of
got-
why you moved out.
Yeah. But that's a story for another time.
Oh my god. If you ever go on that rant on the podcast, it'll be legendary.
When I go off on that rant about why New Jersey is like pretty cringe,
Pretty cringe.
a part of hell will go loose.
Oh my god.
But yeah, going down on a 6-hour drive down to New Jersey for a day. Then Thanksgiving will happen, and another 6 hours back, and then right after that, Ryan, our good friend Ryan, good boy, is like, "Hey, let's go to Bodeborg again," and I'm like, "That would be great if I had sleep."
And he's just like, "You don't need sleep when we're the ones solving the puzzles."
You don't need sleep, you just need Gwen.
Just to play the music. Just
Oh, damn it, Corey, now we're gonna get copyright struck.
Yeah, oh damn it. Fuck, I didn't think about it. CD Projekt Red, be merciful.
We
Be
didn't
merciful.
get permission from the super cool CD Projekt Red.
Did you just forget the developer?
No, I stuttered because I'm a fucking bitch.
But like,
How could I forget the name of the developer of The Witcher?
I don't know. You hesitated.
Fucking don't we all?
So I'm working 6 days during the Thanksgiving break that I have. I mean, technically I'm working like 2 other days too, but I don't really count them because starting Thanksgiving at 5 p.m. I get to work Black Friday. It'll be my first Black Friday working retail. So if next week's episode I sound like completely emotionally spent, you'll understand why. But yeah, I'm going to be working a lot of shifts and a lot of times. So I guess if you know where I work and you want to like come and say hi, feel free to drop by. I could sell you jeans. And if not, then that's cool, I guess.
He can sell you pants to make your booty look pow.
We're not talking about that. We're not going to talk about that. Because that was like...
Talking about what? I'm just telling the truth.
Oh my god. It's because, like, okay, I've had uncomfortable customer interaction. That just comes with the job, you know? You gotta, like, be on the floor and you gotta deal with people who probably shouldn't have any social contact at all. But, like, I mean, I say that, but this was, like, a fairly normal-looking group. What?
None.
What are you saying?
None.
Jake?
Yeah?
Repeat.
You were talking about having interactions with customers who, like, have never had, like, social interaction before.
I'm gonna be editing this episode on Wednesday and hear your audio back and just be like, motherfucker! Like,
And I said, what do you mean? I've never been in your store.
Oh, you should have come by the store. I can sell you jeans and stare at your thighs.
I would if there was a bus that went there.
I could... Come visit during break, what the fuck?
Well, when? Like this break?
If not this break, then winter. As long as it's not...
I am literally not going to be in New Hampshire for half of the break.
Jake, what half will you be back? January?
Fucking Sunday. And
no,
only Sunday.
Referring to winter break or what?
This break.
I thought you were talking about winter break.
No, Corey.
Jake.
This is the Thanksgiving break
well,
episode.
No, you said...
I'm not talking about the next one.
No, you said that... Because I brought up where it's like, if you didn't do, like Thanksgiving break, do winter break. And you're like, I can't do that. It's like, you're like, why? When are you going to be back for winter break? And
no, I said like, that as in I can't do that for Thanksgiving break.
Oh my god.
You big dumb.
I'm not the dumb. I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
I can't anytime now.
That's fine. Just come in the winter so I can help you find jeans and other things.
Fucking old visit you work when you visit me in fucking Boston.
Jake, I am sorry my life has gotten very busy. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh my god. If working like, 6 out of 7 days, isn't an indication already. Like, I'm very tired.
I mean, we're already talking like an old married couple. Just imagine after 6 days of work.
Jake.
Yes.
If I don't see a fucking lean cuisine on the table when I get home, it doesn't matter if it's microwaved or not. I swear to God.
If it's not a lean cuisine.
I don't know why I went for a very specific freezer brand.
What about Lunchables? Are Lunchables okay?
As long as it's the one that comes with the Kool-Aid packet, then sure.
It's one of, well, of course it's the Kool-Aid pack. We're not fucking poor.
Yeah, we're not heathens.
It's one of the ones that advertise like being active and has like a code to a website that kind of like defeats the purpose of going outside.
Yeah, a code to a website that shows you kids having fun outside so you can live vicariously through them.
And then like you go to another page on the website and it shows like all the other like combinations in like the Lunchables that like you're probably not going to get, because you're gonna be like, mom, can you give this to me? And she'll be like, I'm sorry, sweetie, your dad took the car.
Yeah, and then like you'll ask again where she's like, but the car's in the parked right there. Your mom will just be like, don't test me.
Have you seen that new like baby Yoda meme like going around?
Oh, fruit gummy.
What?
Are you not talking about fruit gummy?
I don't know. Am I?
Okay, so the meme of like, oh wait, okay, I know which one you're talking about.
No,
but...
just like there's like an image of like
yeah,
a
where he's just
baby
looking
Yoda
up
or whatever.
Just looking
yeah,
up.
and it'll be like me, and it'll like talk about like their parents.
Yeah, I think my favorite one is someone posted it where it's like me at the middle school dance waiting to request Bangarang, and it's just Baby Yoda wearing a Skrillex hoodie and a snapback.
I don't know why one of like my favorite ones that made me laugh, and like I'm a little disappointed it made me laugh.
Wait, no, it wasn't a Skrillex hoodie, it was UKF.
The one that like made me laugh out of nowhere was like me when I'm waiting for the babysitter to stop bouncing on my dad's lap so I can tell him about the Gatorade under the sink that I drank.
Yeah.
It's just like the stupidest thing.
Yeah, it's the
like literally I read it and I went like, oh fuck.
It's like
it was one of those.
It's the extension of like those deep fried pictures of just like people standing in doorways saying like, me at 3 a.m. telling my mom I vomited on the cat or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
or like me waiting for my parents to stop fighting so they can sign the permission slip.
Yeah. the other one that was good, I think it was like me waiting for my mom to stop sniffing the sugar or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of them. But the one that I thought you were talking about was Foot Gummy, which was a thing that Twitter went crazy for, and it's just they took the screenshot from Detective Pikachu where Pikachu's like lying on the ground putting their arm out, and then they have the picture of like Baby Yoda trying to use the Force, and they just put those pictures side by side, and it's like my friends when I ask for the Foot Gummy, and it's just like them stretching out their arms. My favorite variant of that is the is Baby Yoda where it's like it's me high as hell getting McDonald's at the drive-thru, and then the Pikachu says it's like the McDonald's worker who is also high. And it's just like it's so okay. As I've said before, I'm pretty sure I feel like comedy has devolved, but also has evolved in the same exact kind of like way, where nowadays it's not about like making a clever pun or something like that. It's more about that initial sort of shock value of what you're reading.
I feel like it's not only shock value, but like comedy is just evolved into a series of like inside jokes where like there are formats where like if you don't like get where it's coming from, you just won't understand what the joke is.
Yeah, where like you look at this is going to be an oldie, but do you remember like lolcats, like that whole craze of like the can I has cheeseburger and all of those like, you know, poorly spelt words or whatever, and people are like, ha, it's funny because cats are stupid. But like
yeah, and that was like at the same time as like the like what were they called, rage comics?
Dude,
like,
rage comics
those, like,
though.
All of those like OG faces.
Dude, I remember rage comics. I used to make them and like post
like,
them on an app.
Like with those, like all of the content was like within that, but like I started realizing that more like I almost said personally, but it's not personal at all. When you remember that meme of like wheels on a shopping cart be like, and like it would be 3 images of something good and then 1 of something bad?
Yes.
I like have like seen people look at that and not know what that means.
Well, yeah, because it's like very, like a lot of people are trying to look at the picture and just be like, okay, what's the joke? One's different than the other, and it's like,
and I'm like, huh,
kind of.
like, yeah, it's just like a new age of comedy that like you have to like have an inherent understanding of.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why a lot of comedy is lost on older generations, and also just people like in our age group who are out of the loop. Like I know I have friends who don't actively like use social media too much, and so when something comes up like the Foot Gummy meme, unless you're active on Twitter for like those few days that it really got popular, you're really not going to know what it is.
Yeah.
Because the usual cycle of how memes go is someone makes it on 4chan or Reddit, then someone takes it and puts it on Twitter or like botches it and puts their own spin. That gets retweeted and liked like thousands of times. People to put screenshots of it on Instagram and Facebook. Eventually it gets onto Pinterest somehow, and then, you know, all of the other social media type platforms kind of trickle in at random times. And so it all depends on where you are at the time that it like sets off.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of jokes that would be like site specific, that would make no sense in other communities, and then there's some that like are universal that anybody can pick up, and the ones that can be universal and are picked up by everyone eventually get like talked about on like more mainstream kind of media type stuff. And as a little side thing, I hate the term mainstream media, because then that just like delegitimizes the new advances that we have in technology.
In what way?
In the sense of like, so like with traditional media type stuff, you think of like you know, news and TV and radio and things like that. Like it doesn't include like internet culture and just all the stuff that's happened there. And using the term of just sort of like, you know, mass media or traditional or anything like that, it's sort of like, it's what it says kind of to me is that the internet can't have a big impact when it's been proven like countless times before that is more than possible.
Wait, so are you saying that the internet is not included in mainstream media?
I feel like sometimes it gets brushed to the wayside as just like they say like, oh, you know, it came from the internet, but now we're talking about it on TV, so now it has legitimacy. Like, okay, it's okay. I'm like explaining it bad. It's like imagine that there's like this big thing that happens, like that's just like say a wildfire starts, and the first like reports come from like, you know, people talking about it on Reddit or like Twitter and stuff like that. For a lot of people, they don't see like those, like, obviously you can't trust everything you read on the internet, but some people see them as like immediately unreliable because they don't have like CNN, Fox News, whatever, like, you know, corporation they follow to get their news feed. Like, they don't see it as legitimate because it's other people outside of that bubble.
Well, like, part of the reason why the internet isn't usually taken as, like, serious is because, people are basically just now learning that, not everything, you read on the internet is true, but also not everything you see on TV is true. Like, yeah. The news is just as biased. The only difference is the internet is easier to, like, put stuff up on.
Yeah, there's
plus,
less
like,
hoops, less approval.
We had, like, news on the TV and, like, in the newspaper before internet. So, obviously, like, when you hear, like, stuff about the internet, it's coming from, like, those older, like, media platforms.
Yeah.
So, obviously, they're going to be like, oh, like, this internet thing is so, like, you know, dumb and stuff. Because, like, that... it would be taking attention away from them, and it would be going to the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, like, yeah, like, I'm basically taking, like, a class about this and, like, the transformation of media, and, like, we just have more faith in, like, people who establish themselves as news, as opposed to, like, the internet that's, like, a whole bigger thing.
Yeah, like, people flock to channels like Philip DeFranco.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, like, there's, like, news channels and stuff like that. Like, you know, you have, like, Fox and CNN and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you see those as, like, legitimate, like, sources of news, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to bring up, like, late-night talk shows, you wouldn't see that as, like, a main way of getting, like, information about the news, right?
Which is incredibly incorrect, because, like, you look at what Stephen Colbert has done over his career, and like
studies and surveys have actually shown that the people who watch late night shows but not like the actual news tend to be not like a ton, but recognizably like more informed on current situations than the people who watch like, just Fox News or just CNN.
Well, yeah, and I feel
Because like by trying to be comedic, like they have to know what they're joking about in order to like make fun of it properly in a way that people will like understand and actually appreciate.
Yeah, and you can tell. Oh God, who's the late night host that went like in front of he went in front of a judge and like jury to talk about like reinstating the like fund that they had for the firefighters who helped out in 9/11. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like watching the speech that they had.
Jon Stewart?
I think it was.
I know Jon Stewart has like done a lot of stuff for that.
Yeah.
I remember back when Stephen Colbert had the Colbert Report. I think he went in front of like the Supreme Court or something, like as his character or like something crazy like that. And yeah, there's stuff like that.
Yeah, like, and you can tell that there are, like, as you watch the speech, that he's very passionate about this and has educated himself on the whole thing. And you gotta respect someone who's able to balance, like, politics as well as comedy, as well as these late night hosts have been able to.
Yeah.
Not to say that every late night host is, a very good conduit for political stuff. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, it's up to the individual to make sure that they know all the facts and that they know all the sides of the story and then base their own opinions off of that. Like, like I used to hate like looking at the news because I was like, it's always just depressing, it's always just people bashing each other, and like a lot of the stuff that does get shown is going to be that because that's what gets clicks, that's what gets views. But there's also a lot of things that are just intriguing that you get from the news in like articles that people tend to overlook.
I saw like some like interesting article about the contrast between like American news versus British news, and also tied in like American comedy versus British comedy, and how they kind of play like the opposite roles in the different countries. Where like here, like a lot of our news tends to be like really dark and like serious and like look at all this bad stuff that's happening, but our comedy is generally supposed to be like kind of like uplifting in a way, whereas if I remember correctly, like in the UK, their news is actually like usually a lot of good news and it's very like happy, but they have more like morbid like comedy.
Yeah, you get morbid sort of like dry wit kind of stuff, which I mean, I personally, that's the comedy that I always gravitated towards. Like good examples would be sort of the comedy that's used in Edgar Wright's films. Not necessarily Scott Pilgrim, because that definitely has more of like a United States type influence from the graphic novel. But although I believe is Brian Lee O'Malley Canadian? I forget. Corey, put up whether or not he is here, because that's important, and do the TV effect from the previous episode you did. But like if you look at sort of like the Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz, like a lot of the comedy is in just the characters reacting to situations in sort of deadpan ways. Like the entire scene in Shaun of the Dead of him and his roommate going through his record collection, figuring out which ones he can throw at the zombie.
Yeah.
Like, I love that so much, because I know in a lot of American films, here's what most American comedies are like boiled down to nowadays. They can fall into two categories. One, where the entire comedy is based off of conversations between characters, and it just switches between like medium shots of the characters talking to each other, or it's just complete physical comedy, with not a whole lot to back it up.
Yeah.
Like putting characters in ridiculous situations just for the sake of putting them in ridiculous situations. I think the last comedy that I've ever seen that has legitimately gotten me to lose my mind laughing was Spaceballs.
Oh yeah.
Because that movie is a really brilliant parody of just sci-fi in general. And my absolute favorite part that made me like laugh so hard is when they get the VHS copy of the movie and they fast forward to the end of the movie to see how they can beat the good guys. It's very, very fun. It's just overall a very like it's just a very fun film. And I just from comedies that I've watched recently, I haven't had a similar experience because it just feels like a lot of empty space with punchlines that miss.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I am still an Adam Sandler fan. I know that's weird to say.
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because I had a point and then we like went on a bit of a tangent.
Yeah, sorry for that.
You know what I saw recently that like surprised me in like an almost happy way? The late night host, Seth Meyers, apparently he did an interview with Markiplier.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, like a week or two back.
Yeah, it actually was very thoughtful about like, because I feel like anytime they have like a online celebrity on like late night shows, they always like, you know, ham it up. Where they're like, this is a person from the internet. Let's be all internet like memes and TikTok.
Seemed really like I guess thorough is like a good way to put it. Cause like I decided to like, you know, watch it, and like the one thing, if I had to like critique it, it was just that like it felt like he was asking a lot of like basic questions, like where did his name come from and like things like that. But then I realized that like this is such like a broad audience that he's being like interviewed for.
Yeah.
So, like it kind of makes sense like why they're like making it very like basic and not like they're not asking questions you would find on like Hot Ones, for example.
Yeah, which like we can get into Hot Ones later about why. And I think that Sean Evans is one of the best interviewers like of like our time.
And I appreciate the way that Seth Meyers went about it, because have you seen did you I don't know how to phrase this. Have you seen when Markiplier was on the Jimmy Kimmel like late night show?
Abysmal.
Like it is so insulting to everyone involved that like it's literally not even funny. Like it is just like sad and like embarrassing for him.
It's just Jimmy Kimmel trying to like point at new media and laugh.
Like he makes like it all started when he like criticized and like made fun of people who watch Let's Plays, being like, you know, oh, why would you want to like, you know, watch someone playing a game? Like, why not just play the game? Like, you know, isn't it kind of like weird and stupid?
Yeah, and there was like, you know, a lot of thoughtful responses, but of course you have the community, like part of the community that got angry at him, and so he showcased those tweets being like, see, they're all losers.
He shows off the tweet saying kill yourself as if, you know, you've never been on the internet and never knew you would get those responses for literally anything you put on the internet. And he literally just goes, he goes like, I can't believe people would say this stuff, right? It's just video games, right? Just go play with your friends. Like, I would have loved if he's just like, hey, Markiplier, like, you see these tweets people are saying to kill yourself, and he's just like, that's cute.
Yeah, he's just like, I've gotten worse. Like...
They tell me to kill myself. Really? Is that all?
That's like the whole, is it his late night talk show that has that whole, like, installment of celebrities reading tweets of people bashing them?
Maybe?
Because, like, I remember, someone was doing that. It was, like, one late night show. It was either him or Conan.
I feel like Conan I know Conan had, or he at least had a segment where he would like learn to play different games.
Gaming with Coco, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And he would have like the only one that like sticks to my in mind is he was playing Overwatch, but it was with Peter Dinklage and what's her name? Lena, the person who played Cersei in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
They literally have no idea like why they were there with him playing Overwatch.
Yeah, I think though that was part of the comedy is because he's not naturally like known for like playing games and stuff. He's interested in it and wanted to find a way to incorporate like the ability to try out new games like part of the as part of the show, because he does have like his friend that he plays the games with who understands them because he's an avid fan.
But like I feel like they only had like Peter Dinklage like there because he happened to be there. Like he doesn't have any like connection to it. Like if it was Destiny, for example, where he actually voices a character, that I would understand and that would be like interesting. But no, it was like Overwatch that like no one like had a connection to.
It would have been cool. Like imagine if he jumped on and he was playing with the voice actor for Reinhardt McCree.
Exactly. Like imagine how like fun that would be to just hear like Hammer Down, but like nobody's playing Reinhardt.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. But I don't know. I just feel like with late night talk shows and stuff like that, it's so hard to find the right balance, because you could be doing stuff that's super faithful to the game, but then you lose that general audience that's not deep in like, you know, the community, and so that's lost. Or you could do the thing where you pander to the entirety of like the general audience, and like you'll be successful, but you'll have a lot of niche groups that like nitpick everything you do. Like,
or you could be a Jimmy Kimmel and just never bother to learn.
Oh my god. Okay, I respect that the man has been.
I'm fine with any other late night host, and like if I get recommended like a clip on YouTube for one of their shows, like depending on what it is, like I'll take a look at it. Like except for his, like just out of like spite.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais's late night show is actually pretty good. I only saw a few clips from it, but like I liked it a lot. I will say that the whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel is that he purely panders to general public and does the most surface level humor that you can.
Like a lot of his humor from like what I've seen is basically just like making fun of people and then like being surprised when people don't like it.
Yeah, that's
like I think I saw a segment of him going to like Comic-Con or something where he just made fun of like all the people in costumes.
Yeah.
And it was like surprised when they didn't laugh.
Yeah, like he's like my comedy is I'm a dick to everyone. I can't believe not everyone loves it.
Like it's like he's playing the character of a dick, but like we don't actually know that he's not a dick in person. Like
yeah, it's like the
Stephen Colbert pulled it off great in like his Colbert Report.
Oh,
where
God,
he like
100%.
played like a more Republican character, but like we knew that he was actually like more like liberal based on like what he made his jokes about.
Yeah,
how, like absurd they would be.
Yeah, I like see because I love that. I loved that so much. But yeah, again, Jimmy Kimmel, like this is all like this. Like all he does nowadays is he tries to make segments and clips that he knows that he can get trending on YouTube, trending on Facebook, trending on Twitter, so he gets more and more eyes on his late night show. Why do you think he does that car karaoke segment with random celebrities, having them sing top 100 songs?
Wasn't that another late night host, or am I thinking of a different segment?
I mean, it became like pretty commonplace. I don't know, because like he would like Jimmy Kimmel would have like people go on the late night show and they'd just be like, here's a song, now you got to sing it in this style, and it's like, oh, we definitely didn't rehearse it. Like
because I'm thinking of another host. I don't know why I can't think of his name. Like,
I know who you're talking about. I definitely
James Gordon.
Okay, yeah, no, that karaoke was definitely James Gordon. What I was thinking of was the karaoke thing, where like Jimmy gives them a song and then gives them like a style to sing it in.
Oh, that's a Fallon.
Oh my god, why? There's so many like late night hosts
With
that all
with James Gordon.
I don't know because I
James.
Dude, there's so many fucking late night hosts that have similar ass names. Get original names and maybe your content will be better.
James does a segment where he will have like a guest on his show, and they'll be sitting at a table that has a bunch of like disgusting food on it.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like chew it or spew it or something.
Yeah, it's the whole thing where they ask like very personal and comfortable questions, and they sort of like point where it's like, I want you to eat like chicken legs, and then they ask like who's your least favorite person to work on with it in this movie, and if you don't say like who it was, then you gotta eat it.
Yeah.
There was one episode where they literally had cockroaches on a stick and they were still squirming, and someone ate it, and it made me almost vomit.
I think I saw like a couple of them in like a binge one night. One of my favorites as like a highlight thing is one of the guests was Gordon Ramsay, and he did this thing where he would literally just take like different foods and combine them as like doubling up on like, if you don't answer, like you have to do like both of these things.
Yeah.
And you would just end up with like chicken feet marinated in like oyster juice or something, and just like disgusting pairs.
No.
And then another one was Will Ferrell, who would actually like eat the stuff.
Yeah, no, the worst ones were always the ones where the actor, actress, whoever it was, just eats it with no reaction, because then you know that they were like prepared.
And just to like give you a visualization as like my last example, they have like 2 of everything, so that like, you know, for the 2 people, like they can each like have one.
Yeah, so like if one person eats it and they're like, oh, that's awful, fuck you, here it is.
One of the things was a shot of hot sauce. And I can't remember the guest, but whoever the guest was took both of the shots.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's insane. But also
it was John Hamm.
Oh my god, of course
John Hamm did both of the shots.
Of course it's John Hamm.
And I think the question was like how big his dick was, and he just did both of the shots.
Yeah. You know what? That's an answer. That's an answer, and he drinks the hot sauce. Everyone wins.
I remember that because they called it like the Hamaconda, and like the host pointed out that like his mother was in the audience and wanted to know. And he's like, nope, gonna do the first shot, and then he just takes the second, and he's like, you don't have to do it.
Yeah. That's like you know what? This actually segues pretty well. I want to talk a little bit and sort of like, you know, appreciate Sean Evans for a bit. Sean Evans, who we mentioned earlier, is the host of a YouTube series called Hot Ones. If you don't follow it, definitely watch it, because I think he's one of the best interviewers of our time, because he's able to not only like come up with very creative, very personal questions for all the guests, where like one of my favorite things to do is to watch those like moments where the guests are like, how do you know that? Or that's a really good question, like that kind of thing, where they're genuinely like going back and forth and enjoying like the time that they're spending at the table.
Personally, one of my favorite moments is whenever they get to the last dab and Sean Evans starts like shaking the bottle, and they always have to ask, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you shaking it? I forget who it was, but one of the guests literally just took like another one of the bottles and just started shaking it, not knowing what was happening.
Yeah, I know. I forget who it was.
Was that Jeff Goldblum or something?
That
who just like took one of the bottles and just started like shaking it.
That definitely sounds like a Jeff Goldblum thing. I remember there's
like I don't know what we're doing, but like we're doing it.
Yeah, there's so many great episodes too, because like another great thing about the series that I love is that So the concept of hot ones is you're eating chicken wings. It could be like vegan wings or chicken tenders. It all depends on the guests. But you can be eating these like things, and each one has like an increasing level of hot sauce. Like the Scoville units go up until eventually you get to this thing called Last Dab, which is like a crazy amount of like times hotter than a jalapeno, right? I forget exactly.
Yeah. And
But,
like the thing is, like, most of them actually like taste good,
yeah,
as hot as they are.
yeah. The only one that tastes like ass and is just heat for heat is the bomb, and that's supposed to be like the gloves are off kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
it's
the
always,
gloves are on, or you'll like burn yourself.
well, yeah. And the thing that's also interesting is that people who understand what the show is, they come in with their own sort of like tactics. Like sometimes people come in with ice cream or bread or
Or wax.
Hmm?
I forget who the guest was. It was it was the guy from have you seen Binging with Babish?
Yes.
He literally came in with like wax to melt to like drink to coat
Yeah.
his throat.
He had a bag of stuff.
And it didn't work.
Yeah. And then
I think he brought it because he saw it from like an episode of The Simpsons and was like, huh, that'd be interesting to like coat your throat with it, and then it didn't work.
that was there was also like I say customers. There were also episodes where like people would bring in like beer or chocolate milk or other things to see like what would help, but it always ends the same, where the heat overtakes whatever remedy they have. And because of that, you get very honest versions of the people that like you're interviewing. I think one of the best interviews he's had is do you know the rapper Riff Raff?
Vaguely.
He is known to be always in character and is impossible to break. Basically, do you know the actress Aubrey Plaza?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but a rapper.
Oh.
And so literally you watch his interview and he goes from like, you know, the constantly like rhyming cocky attitude that he has to being a like normal ass guy. And it's so intriguing to do that, or like to like have that happen and to just see it unfold. Same thing with the Aubrey Plaza episode, which side note, Aubrey Plaza is my favorite actress of all time. I absolutely adore her. And you just watch the episode because she's known, like, Sean goes on record like in the episode saying that she is known to have one of the best poker faces in Hollywood, of just like not breaking from her character of being like, you know, the awkward weird one kind of thing that she knows is like the niche that she falls into.
Mm-hmm.
But then you like watch the episode and she becomes so animated throughout it. It's just like a lot of fun. It's just fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I think like my favorite part of that episode was? The lightning round.
Oh yeah. No, there was a lightning round in that episode. I know what you're talking about. All right, roll the intro. Lightning round. Lightning round. I don't need to scream it. We already have it.
For the two of you watching who didn't understand, that was my terrible attempt at a segue.
Yeah, no, well, I tried to invest in it. Hey, can I just say one thing before we do the lightning round?
Sure.
So I mentioned about fucking Adam Sandler. I just need to say like real
Need
quick.
to clear your conscience.
No. I just need to say real quick. I think Uncut Gems is going to be an incredible movie, and like just from what I've heard from reviews and people seeing the movie, the Oscar buzz is real. People are saying that this is the best performance he's had in his career. So I am psyched.
Are you ready for the lightning round?
What, have you seen nothing about the movie?
No.
Oh my god, I'll send you the trailer.
No, because I don't care about New Hampshire's only gem.
Well, no, oh my god. No, it's not even that. It's like this whole thing where he's a gambler.
I mean, like, I saw like the first like teaser trailer, but like,
well, the teaser really didn't give much away. It was just him with a bloody nose in front of a camera.
also haven't given much away about this lightning round.
Oh my god, Jake.
We've already played the theme, and we're not even there yet.
We can play the theme again.
Shitty
Play the
lightning round.
Play the theme again now. Lightning round, go.
So, since this is the Thanksgiving episode, obviously, we had to make this Thanksgiving's themed. Yes?
Yeah, and these are questions for me this time.
Now,
that Jake actually prepared.
What's more Thanksgiving than politics?
Jesus Christ, Jake, you're gonna...
With our favorite, political, figurehead of Corey.
Oh, of course. Oh my god. Do you want to pass me the shovel in advance?
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Taxes, yay or nay?
Yay. Why would that ever be nay?
Guns, next question.
Don't point them at me and we're good.
Okay, popular political topic. What about the gays?
Sure.
What do you have to say about baby go bye-bye?
What? Wait, what? Excuse me? Baby go bye-bye?
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Abortion?
Yes.
Sucks for babies, not for me.
Sweet. Give me one reason why America... Okay, next question. Give me one reason why America isn't number one.
Look around.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been your drunk uncle.
The drunk
or
uncle.
Grandpa, we don't know.
Yeah, you know, the one that slams their fist on the table and is like, I got a bone to pick with the government. Like,
Yeah, the racist one.
yeah, the racist, the racist
The only
one,
family member to have said the N-word.
Yeah, the racist one, or if you don't think they're racist, sorry you had to hear it this way.
If you don't have a racist member of your family, I have sad news for you.
Sucks for babies, not for me, is probably the best reaction I could have for that.
Man, we're just really going in with that energy.
I don't...
What are your thoughts on the race wars? Someone's gonna win.
I just love, because when you said it in the last episode, I just imagine you, like, laid back, just like glazed over eyes, just like, someone's gonna win. Like, you're just you're flipping through the channels trying to find GSN so you can watch, like Countdown. Like...
I like to think I was more like the dad answering my son's like 500th question that they've had today, and I'm just done. It's like someone's gonna win.
Jesus Christ. We're not good people.
But we do have a podcast.
Yeah,
Somehow.
and somehow people listen to it. Enough people.
With their ears, Corey.
I do. Jake,
Hello.
good episode.
Yeah.
Unless you want to talk about more stuff.
I mean, not really.
Like, I want to point out one thing that's just been kind of bugging me about the set this time around. Why are there so many gravy boats now?
For every like, we'll add another gravy boat to the thumbnail.
No! That's more work for me! No!
I can make the thumbnail.
No! We're not giving in. Oh my god.
Well, you don't want to add 2 gravy boats to the thumbnail.
Jake, I don't want to do work.
You don't have to. Look, and I could do it. Leave a like if you like gravy boats.
Yeah, leave a like if you just, Thanksgiving comes around, you just grab the gravy boat and you pour it in a glass and you just drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, only real alphas do that. If you do that, submit a video to the podcast and that'll be our next episode. Is just that on loop for an hour.
Oh, please. Real alphas? They drink right out of the boat.
Oh no.
And then they put it back and say, yummy.
Yeah, they take their drink and they replace the gravy that they drank. So like, imagine someone drinks like a whole gravy boat, and then you just pour Diet Coke in it, and so someone goes to pour it on their turkey.
You just see
and
someone like, you just see someone like take their glass and they like replace it with the gravy boat, all like Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
Not gonna suspect a thing.
I love it.
This gravy's a bit watery.
It doesn't taste like gravy.
This is some spicy gravy.
Oh god. Ugh. We need to end the episode. We don't have anything else important to say. I guess aside
have a happy Thanksgiving. Except by the time this is up, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I hope you didn't get trampled during Black Friday, and I hope that my heart still works afterwards.
Yeah, I hope you won the debate with your family.
Yeah, because let's face it, you're right.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Of course he's had a little bit too much red wine.
Yeah, and if you subscribe to the channel, you're right. You're very smart.
Yeah. Leave a like if you won the debate.
Yeah, and leave a dislike if you don't like the fact that you didn't win, because honestly, you had the right idea.
Leave a dislike if your drunk grandpa got the upper hand.
Yeah, and threw the mac and cheese at you. I'm going to go in and I'm going to leave one dislike.
Oh my god. Only if your grandpa gets the upper hand.
Yeah. Corey, you can't lie to the masses.
Yeah.
All 6 of them.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Pixel Venture Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy whatever Black Friday you call it. Don't get trampled Black Friday. I don't know. Next week, it's going to be a little more festive because we're in the month of December.
Yeah, we are.
Not looking forward to it?
I've got to put up all the decorations.
Jake, can we make a Christmas-themed set? Like a cozy little cabin?
Yeah, and I'm going to complain. We're going to keep it up all the way up into February, and we're never going to take them down.
Oh my god, what if we just had a Christmas tree prop that stayed up for like half the year and then comes down in June?
Exactly.
I would fucking love that. Oh no, now we have to.
Oh god.
Anyways, thank you for listening to this week's episode. I've been Corey.
And I've been uploading to my Twitter.
Nice plug at the end. See you guys next week.
Eh.
Consume the Turk.
Yum.